everyone, welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you stopping by. Today I wanted to give you guys an update on the situation with my skin cancer biopsy that I had done a few weeks back. It actually came back positive, so I do have skin cancer again. I have basal cell carcinoma again, which is a much better scenario than if I had melanoma. But I have a few other spots that I'm really concerned about, and what happened was my doctor was out of the office and I ended up seeing a PA when I went, which I normally like to stick with the same person once they know my body and everything and kind of know what I've had going on in the past. But the PA that I met with, I've met her before. I mean, she's just a sweetheart, but she missed what was cancerous on me. And I told her that I was concerned, and she was like, you know, I think it's fine. I don't really see, she tried to tell me it was, I think actinic keratosis or something like that, a different diagnosis than cancer, of course. And I just was more worried about it because of having it in the past. And she said, you know, as I was getting ready to leave, she said, you'd feel much more comfortable if I just went on and biopsied that for you, wouldn't you? And I was like, yes, I would, just because I don't know why, it just made me nervous. And come to find out, you know, they called me back a few weeks later and it definitely was skin cancer. So this is another testament to listening to your own instincts, listening to your gut. I've been telling people this for quite a few years now because of health issues that we've had going on in our families and having a hard time getting, you know, the right doctors to handle certain situations. And this is just another instance that my gut was telling me something was wrong with that spot. And, you know, it made me go into the doctor because I wasn't even there for myself. I went in for something else for my son. And I said, you know, while I'm here, do you mind checking this out? Which, thank goodness, she did do the biopsy, but I have to go back in and they'll have to do a surgery on me to get the parameters out. I don't know how much more of my breast tissue they'll have to take because it's on the bottom of my left breast. So there's a few other spots now that I was concerned about that she said were nothing, and now I'm paranoid about them, of course, because she was wrong about this. So what if she was wrong about those too? So I think I'm going to hope that the doctor can take enough time. I'll be seeing my regular doctor for the biopsy. They offered for her to do it, but I would rather have my usual dermatologist do it because he specializes in this type of cancer, and I know that he's done a really good job. I didn't really have as much scarring the last time I had basal cell carcinoma, so hopefully I caught it early. Obviously it was early enough that she didn't think it was something to be concerned about, but you know, that's just how life is sometimes, and I'm praying that I don't end up with melanoma. I read somewhere online that people that are more prone to basal cell carcinoma aren't as prone to melanoma, but then on another medical document I was reading, it was saying that once you have any skin cancer, you're prone to all skin cancer. So I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to delve into a little bit more research on that and just, you know, keep monitoring myself. We did just get back from the Bahamas, so I'm so proud of myself that none of us got sunburned in the 5 days we were there. And I know I look like some kind of sunscreen Nazi out there, but I was like just carrying around tons of different sunscreen that I had brought, and then we were at a resort that had sunscreen also. But my kids have never been burned. My son is 12 and my daughter's 8, and they've never had a sunburn in their life, and we stay at the beach and in the pool and stuff. So I've really tried to do better for them than, you know, I did for myself growing up because I just didn't know any better. But it is cancerous, like I said, and so I have to go back in August. That was the first available appointment that he had, and he'll take the rest of that out, and then we'll see if any of these other issues. I'll probably have several other biopsies done. The spot on my breast is already healed up, thank goodness. So I have been just enjoying the summer and trying to swim and stuff, because once he cuts the other part out, it is going to be a little bit, you know, longer for it to heal. Hopefully it won't take a month or so, but that'll be time that I probably won't be in the pool, just because I don't think it's as sanitary, you know, when you have an open wound like that trying to heal. I like to try to give my body a chance to recover from that in case of, you know, introducing bacteria or anything. So I won't go to the beach or the pool while I'm waiting for that to heal. It is healed now, like I said, so we were able to go to the Bahamas, and stuff just works out for a reason. You know, he didn't have availability. If he had, I would have felt like I needed to go get it taken out right then, and then we were already planning to go to the beach, and that would have been a little bit more difficult for me because I probably would have only gotten into my waist. You know, this way I was able to go snorkel and stuff like that. It has been freaking me out a little bit knowing that I have cancer growing inside my body. I mean, any of you guys that have gone through that, it's just a nervous feeling, you know, even though it's early on and I know that it doesn't normally metastasize. I'm very, you know, aware of what's going on. It's just still something inside of me instinctually is like, get it out. I want it out of me now, you know. So hopefully it's not too big of a place, and I'll let you guys know. The scar right now is probably about not quite the size of a dime, the space that she took. I mean, it was a pretty larger size mole. I haven't showed pictures to you guys, even though I took pictures, and I could take a picture of it now, like, so you could see it as it's healed. But me personally, I'm really sensitive to surgical photos myself, and I don't want any of you guys to get freaked out or pass out, because that actually happened to me once, where I was watching a video on some surgical stuff, not like graphic, it actually was like an animation type thing, but I had just had something removed, like a pre-melanoma removed on my leg. This was probably about 6 or 7 years ago, and my stitches had come loose, and it was close to time to have them out anyway. So I was trying to look at a video or find a picture of how to take the stitches out myself, and for some reason I just passed out. Apparently it's what's called a vasovagal episode. I've had one of those before from drinking cold water right after we'd finished playing racquetball. My husband and I used to play all the time, and I mean, we would play for hours and be like super hot and stuff. And I guess sometimes if you drink really cold water right after a workout like that, it bottoms out your blood pressure. And so that's what happened to me, and I passed out in the middle of a Mexican restaurant. That was very embarrassing. So yeah, we were all sitting there at a table together, and literally I just fell over on the table. And my husband, that was before I had kids, and my husband's there, and a new person we had just, another racquetball partner we had just met that day we were playing with, and a friend of mine. And I was like, totally, I didn't remember it happening. I was only out maybe a minute or two. And when I came to, it was so funny, when we were in the Mexican restaurant, there's Mexican music playing, right? Or Spanish music playing. So I wake up, and like the whole time I'm out, I'm dreaming that I'm in Mexico, and there's this guy on this horse with a sombrero. I mean, it was crazy. And then I wake up, and when you pass out like that and you wake up, you don't realize what is going on around you. Like, I was like, why are y'all staring at me, and where am I, or whatever. So the second time that I had one of these episodes is when I was looking at a surgical picture. So that's why I'm very hesitant about putting pictures up for you guys, because I don't know if my viewers want to see all of that. It might be a little bit too much. I mean, it's nothing too graphic, like bloody or nothing like that, but still, after what happened to me, I thought I would, you know, ask you guys, do you want to see stuff like that? I personally like to see moles and stuff, because everybody's moles are so different, so it's kind of interesting. That's how I knew that something was wrong with this. I mean, this mole looked very weird. Like I said, it was 3 different colors, and it was kind of a weird shape. But all my moles, I swear, that I'm always concerned about are always different shapes. I have rectangular moles, triangular moles, heart-shaped moles. I just have all kinds of different spots and dots and whatever. So, you know, everything looks irregular to me, but this one specifically, because of the different colors and textures, I was concerned about. But when that happened to me the second time, I was looking at the pictures at home. I remember my baby, she was probably 2. It was right before my husband came home from work. So my son was, what, 6 at the time, 5 or 6. And I was just sitting there, and next thing you know, I woke up on the floor. And thank God we had wood floors that absorbed some of the shock. If it had been tile or stone or something, I don't know. But I just fell out of a wood chair, like at the kitchen table, onto the floor. And I woke up with my poor baby screaming, "Mommy, you know, are you okay?" And I didn't understand what was going on. And I was like, what in the world? And I called the doctor, and I was telling him, my family practice doctor, he was so good. And I told him what happened. He said, "What were you doing right before this happened?" I said, "Nothing. I was just looking at the computer." I was, you know, I'm thinking, oh gosh, you know, I'm dying. Something's wrong with me. I had a heart attack or something. He was like, "No, what were you looking at on the computer?" And I told him, and he said, "I bet you had a vasovagal episode. Didn't you tell me that you had one of those before?" I think I'm saying that correct, but I said, "Well, yes, sir." I was like, "Why would that cause it?" And he said, are you able to watch horror movies or anything with blood or anything like that? I said, well, you know, the older I've gotten, the more, I used to love stuff like that when I was a teenager, but I was like, every year seems to be more. I don't like to see graphic stuff on TV and stuff like I used to. And he was like, that's your body trying to tell you just can't handle stuff like that. He said, I have other patients that's happened to. I literally just passed out from looking at a picture, and it wasn't even like a bloody picture or nothing. It was just a picture of stitches on somebody, and they were showing, you know, how to cut the stitches. And I was like so embarrassed. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I can't even look at pictures on the internet without passing out. But anyway, I just wanted to tell y'all that as like a mini story time in addition to my skin cancer issues. And I know some people are probably like, she sure does seem upbeat and positive considering she's got skin cancer again, but what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't go back in time and change the damage I've already done to myself. And I mean, I am more paranoid now. I'm super tan for me, coming back from the Bahamas now. Even though I had SPF 50 and 70, I was kind of alternating every day, like different types I had on to keep myself as protected as possible. I still got, you know, radiation damage. When somebody's like, oh, what a beautiful tan, it's like, what beautiful radiation damage you have. That's how I think of it now, because that's exactly what it is. Any tan that you get at all is where your cells mutate, and, you know, the melanin is brought forth, and it just sparks a whole series of events. People don't realize that, but, you know, a few minutes in the sun, and then your cells continue to change for like 5 hours after that. I was reading a dermatology report the other day that was talking about that, and I was just like, wow, you know, you have to really consider that when you're out in the sun so much. So I'll still continue to enjoy the sun. My doctor is actually from the islands, and so, you know, he has his own skincare line and stuff, and different sunscreens that he produces. And so he was saying, people are active. You know, I'm not nearly as active as somebody who's, you know, surfing or paddleboarding or doing, you know, professional sports outdoors all day. And he says, you know, those people, even after skin cancer, they continue to go in the sun. But I'm just, you know, a lot more aware of what I need to do to protect my skin, and definitely to protect my family's skin. I think a lot of the problems I've had with my skin is from damage that I had as a child, because I'm not lying to you when I say I got burnt and looked like a boiled lobster before. Yeah, Panama City Beach, like, it was really bad. So there were several times that I would get burnt because we were always boating and we had a pool and always at the beach. And so me and my Irish Scottish skin, it was just not meant to be, apparently, without good sunscreen. So at least we're doing better as far as that now. I try to be positive, because what's the point of being negative? You know, a lot of us are going to have these issues. I think 1 in 3 Americans are going to have skin cancer in their lifetime. I didn't realize it was that many people. And maybe, you know, as time goes on and our kids grow up and our grandkids won't have these issues because they'll be more educated than we were. But what does Oprah say? When you know better, you do better. So I'm just trying to do better and just trying to work with the information that I've got. If you guys have any questions for me, leave them down below. I'm sorry this was a little bit of a ramble, but I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. I had a lot of people messaging me asking what the results were from my biopsy, and I'll keep you guys posted on how that's going. Hopefully I don't have any more issues anytime soon. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Thank you for supporting me. If you like this video, click the like button down below and let me know. And if you think you're interested in more content like this, please hit the subscribe button. Have a great day. Bye-bye.